Welcome. This is Dr. Gabriel Tumwine, one of the directors of Entrepreneurs Academy. One of the innovations that has come out to use the people that are around us who have made it to help you step out where you are, reach to the destination that you are looking out for. In whatever profession you are, whether you're educated, whether you are not educated, in whatever race you are in, we are here simply because the world is for us all. We want the best out of our lives. We want the best out of our people. We want the best out of your neighbor who is just next to you, because we have found out that the people who you stay with are the people who will nurture you, who will grow you, who will step you up and be the best you can do. And here we are going to share with you one of the things that which can build you, to bring you out to where you are, to generate the potentials that you have, to the time you reach your potentials. And I will encourage you to keep listening for the next few minutes so that you can learn one or two things, so that we can walk the next journey together. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this particular time where we want to share with you the potential that you have. My name is Dr. Gabriel Tumwine. I'm a lecturer. I teach in Makerere University, one of the greatest universities in Africa, that shares and puts knowledge to the people, and to see how people, young people with all the greatest potential, can come out and run their life. But through my life as a young man, a boy who grew up from church school, I've come to realize one particular thing, that everyone has the greatest potential within himself. And himself is the person who has to unlock that potential. As I was going through the education system, we learned something that everyone is seated on potential energy. And this potential energy, when you put in some action, that's when it becomes kinetic. Kinetic means that you are putting the energy that it moves, but the other people call it action. And through moments of time, to prosper as well as to grow, I've found out that it comes from what you eat. The mindset grows because of what you eat. The body grows because of what you eat. It grows simply because there are certain ingredients that you have to have. And these ingredients are the ones that inspire you either to grow, either to live, and to have better friends, and to have better relations. But the mindset is the powerful thing. And the mindset is all about the issue of belief. And the power of you believing yourself is the number one key that will inspire you up or put you down. And in most cases, I always tell people that when you believe in yourself, in spite they give you all the nutrients, so long as you don't believe in yourself, it becomes a very, very bad moment in time. I remember after being born from a village, and you know there's a difference between a village, a town, and a city. But I always tell people that I'm a lucky one who was born in the village, studied in the town, and lives in the city today. From all those moments in time, I've learned that there are different beliefs along the life. In the village, there are certain morals that you have simply because of the people putting the certain beliefs in you. And when I went to town as well as in the city, and all it came about as a result of the number of people that you meet. And as you go on, I found out that in the village, there is a moment in a time that life is driven along the people that you live with, just the father, mother, and the relatives who are around you. And when you go to the town, that means that you have to link more things. Then when you come to the city, there is a whole component of people that are sharing different things. But the way you drive yourself with your self-belief is what takes you through. I've met friends who have been taken off by certain friends simply because they have not believed in themselves, they believe in others. What they have chosen to do is to go with that group of people who have chosen to do otherwise, and yet they have their own beliefs that could have made them be a better person. They have chosen to go around doing very, I can call them evil, but some of times it is not evil simply because of the eye that you use it to. And as I was in school, one of the important things that interested me, I loved reading. Up to today, I read my books. I read motivational books, I read my Bible, I read all the books around so that I can build myself. Because I found out that through me, the nutrients that I have to get all what I eat physically as food, the people I relate with, those are the relationships that I have to share. Also the issues of what I read, what I watch, so that they can build myself, and so that they can build my pillar, which is a belief. And into all that, I found out that as you move through in anything that you want to do, let it be business, let it be relationship, let it be church, let it be building, planting a plant and growing that plant to the maturity. You have to believe that one time it starts as a small thing and it grows as a bigger thing. But you will have all the nutrients around you. If you don't believe in yourself, it becomes a challenge. And everyone, I always tell people, those who trust themselves in the name of belief, you will find that they make certain things. I always love referring to the Bible, simply because that's one of the things, simply because I was meant to be a priest. Don't ask why I never became a priest, but simply because the training went on and I realized that also I can step on. But one of the things that attracted me so interestingly was in the Bible. This young man called King David. I always say that was a superstar to show the young men that you don't need to have anything. Even you can be a herdsman and you end up going upward. So this young man believed in himself totally, to an extent that he went ahead to tell people that I have fought with a lion. I have fought with this, I have killed a lion. Then it reached a moment in time, he went to take food for his brothers who had gone for a war. And he was part of this team that he had brought food. And when they were there, long time ago, people never used the WhatsApp, people never used the phone, people never used, it was a physical fight. And at that time it was a call that who can kill our best. They could choose their best they bring. Now the moment this King David came around, he asked himself, what is going on? And he was asking. People started telling him, no, here what we do in the fight, the other group chooses the best, you choose the best. And what amuses you, the boy said, I'm giving myself there. Why? Because he believed in himself. And he just used a stone and this other catapult. And he killed this guy. He assured him that Goliath, I know you're a giant, you are the tallest person, but I'm going to lower you down and I cut off your head. He used it once. He struck simply because he believed in himself. He built up his life. He found out that I can do it. It doesn't matter how tall you are, how fat you are, how the background you have, whatever you have, but so long as you have a belief. This young boy had that belief. He stood out, he went, and down Goliath was. And you know what the promise was there. Majority of people read the story, but the promise was there that whoever kills this giant will be given a horse, will be given the daughter of the king, as well as some of tax-free. This young man didn't know marriage, didn't know the beauty of a horse, didn't know the taxes. But simply because he wanted to prove that he has the strength through his own belief, he had to strike. And when he struck like this, and it is interesting that Goliath was down. And do you know why he was made a king? It's simply because he believed in himself, he went out, took action, and fought the king. And the storyline says that everyone has potential. Everyone around you has the potential. But what the nutrients go in is what matters a lot. When I was young, I remember, when I was going to start school, people never believed in me because it took me long to start speaking. Today, that's why I talk every day. It took me something like 3 years to utter articulately words. What mattered the most When I reached 5 years, I wanted to join my other fellow guys to join school. What I did was to start going to school irrespective of whether I have a uniform or what. And my dad had never had belief in me. But the statements would go, you are young. Why are you going to school? Even we don't have a uniform. Now, the nutrients that would fall into my ears through the words of my dad are the nutrients I'm talking around. That somehow, somewhere, my beliefs went down. Then the first time I never went. But quickly, simply because I had a desire. Desire is a nutrient that always feeds the belief. Always feeds the belief. It tells the belief that, no, you can't do it, you can't do it. Because the desire is an individual thing. If you want something, no one can feel the same way you are feeling about wanting that something. Unless you speak it out. And when you speak it out and people start telling you, you cannot afford that. You are a poor man. That one is not yours. You are from wherever. That is particular statement alone. It feeds into your belief. And the nutrients step on your desire. And when it steps on your desire, remember your belief is no longer helping you to move towards that thing. Then what happens? You back, the potential remains in you. You don't take action. The kinetic bit of it doesn't come out. That means that in the end, 1 year passes, 2 years pass, 3. Then you start saying, I wish. If you have the desire now, trying to grow. But if you don't have the desire that is growing, you just go back into a reality that I always call comfort zone. That tells you, don't worry, those things were not meant for you. And yet the love, the world, everything is what everyone wants. And every time when I realize that belief is nurtured by desire, in most cases I realize that I need to also see how I pimp my desires. And how do I pimp my desires? Desires are pimped by what you feed your eyes, the nutrients you feed your eyes. You'll always go outside there. Where do you shop from? If you shop from your neighborhood, you will always believe that people shop around the neighborhood. If you believe that you can shop in another country, or you can have desires to go to another place, or you go to a shopping mall where you can have your things all at once, that is the desire driving you, and the belief sets you. Majority of people say that, but yes, I might have the desire, I might have the belief, but I don't have the money. Especially we, the younger men, we have all the desire, and sometimes the belief, although is shaking, the desire is let down by the effect of what we call money. The most interesting thing is they always say that, but we don't have the money. And every time you look forward that money is just a belief of some people. Simply because long time ago money was measured in terms of gold. How much kilos do you have? How many kilos do you have to exchange for something? And one of the things that touched me so much is when I talked with a friend who had made the money, he told me he found out that the best moment in the time that he realized wasn't the money. It was the relationship that he built and the moment in time that he drove his life. And what he did mostly was to create a relationship. And this relationship were created based on how he fed himself. He looked around. Whom do I move outside with? Whom do I interact with? And he realized that I don't need to have money in my pocket, but I need to have a relationship of people around me who have what I have. And that's the belief that it is very common to most people who are successful. But I found out that these successful people really do believe in themselves. The strength they have within themselves is what keeps on driving them. And later on I found out that you need to nurture the belief that you have. And you have to nurture yourself so that you can accept that I can do it. And that ability of I can afford it, I can do it, is self-belief. Where I believe that, I can get that woman, I can get that house, I can build that house, I can buy that car. But in most cases, as I told you, the feeding, every time you share with friends who give you a different understanding of life, they will tell you, you cannot afford it. What are they feeding you on? negative energy. And they are telling you, my brother Gabriel, you cannot afford that. Now, it tortures your beliefs. In most cases, I always tell a story. The first time when I came to the city, it was so interesting. People back home were telling me that when you go to the city, they snatch everything, including your watch. Just imagine how I was walking. If I bought a watch, that I would walk in such a way that my hand is in front. In other words, the words that you get design even the way you walk. If they tell you in a certain hotel you don't go, just enter, you will find that yourself that you will just say, that place, it's for this particular people. But for me, when they told me that there is an inner thing within me called self-confidence that builds on my belief, in addition to desire, then I started building on my confidence. No one outside there is going to kill you. Step out of your comfort zone. Walk straight to what you want. Ask what you want. Build yourself. When they say no, it does not mean that they hate you. No. It means that they don't want you at that particular time. Next time come when they need you, they will say come. But don't get worried by the moments. People are worried when they are worried when the answer is no. And I always tell the younger people, most times people fear to be or to do whatever they want to do simply because they fear to be rejected. And the biggest thing of rejection is just 2 letters, N-O, which is a no. You go for a relationship, they tell you no. Then you just say, why did God create me? You go for a job, they tell you no job. You suffer again because of 2 words. You go to places, they say you no. Because I remember when I was rejected in a team. No one knew me. I was new into the place. I said, I can play. No one believed that I could play. And what happened, I told them, just try me. They said no. I just kept there. What amused you, I went to the kids section where the kids accepted me. Simply because maybe it was easy to enter into the younger children who accepted me. So I kept on moving around. Then they started calling me names of superstars in football, Okocha. Then that's when the other team started seeing. Despite the fact that I was a short young man, people do not know that I had the potential that I could play football. But all it came simply because I believed that I could do it. And I was seeing these people up there. And through the process, it made me go through my education system in such a way that I remember even when I was in primary 4, I wanted to do exams of P6 simply because I had a brother who was in P6 and I was seeing his paper, I could do it. Examination paper. I told him, but why can't I sit with these guys? Of course, the beliefs sometimes they take you somewhere where the world is beyond what people normal things can be. If you want to be exceptional, be mad. Be mad. People will tell you, this guy is not okay. It's normal. It's not normal. And when I was reading through, one of my mentors told me, to be mad in a full means make a difference. Make a difference. That's being mad. And being mad when you make a difference is not all about being like any other person. They always say, if you want to be extraordinary, do ordinary things in an extra way. That's where you become extraordinary. And it takes your ability to stand out, to walk, get that ability. And the majority of people start sitting down and they say, look here, I don't have this, I don't have this. I go back to the Bible. Because that's where I was brought up. I grew up from church school. I went to the seminary to become a reverend father. I've told you, don't ask me what happened. But the most interesting thing, through the Bible, I've learned certain things. When these guys would be chosen by God, like Jeremiah, do you know what they could say? They would say, I don't know how to talk, I don't know how to do this one. God will tell them, go, me, I know. I knew you before you were born. Go and say something. They manage. Then this guy called Moses, who grew up in the king's palace, to liberate. They said liberate or deliberate this Israel. What happened? The man was saying, you look here, I don't have anything, I don't have the army. God asked him, you man, what do you have? That I have only this stick. God said, that's enough. And you know the wonders that he did. He went to the Pharaoh. What did he use? His stick. He came to cross the Red Sea. What did he use? His stick. When people are crying, no water, no water, what did he use? His stick. The question is, do you believe what you have? Sometimes we look at ourselves, we start saying, if I have a suit, that's when I will do this. My friend, those suits are bought, and those suits are not part of you. That if I was told, you are short, now what do you want? If the issue is, what can you do? And go out and do it. But it all comes when you have the belief. And the belief being desire built or nurtured, and discipline nurtured. Action, as I told you earlier enough. Majority of people have the belief, strong belief, with the desires, with the confidence, but they don't have to take action. They will tell you, if this thing and these things are around, I will take this action. I'm waiting. I'm telling you, science has it. Simple science, which I learned in P5, primary 5, where they said that work is equal to force times distance. In most cases, we learn and we live there, we pass exam. But for me, I always go back. Force times distance. If I kept in the same place and pretending that I'm working, I'm telling you, there's no distance moved. There's no, yes, you have put force, and the distance is 0. Force times distance, if distance is 0, work done is 0. Now, I learned that if you go and put your force on the wall or on the tree, you push, that's it. Force, isn't it? And when there is no distance moved, have you done any work? The answer is no. Now, action. Action is when you put in your energy, which other people call force, then you move a distance. I always surprise people. After coming from the seminary, the member was supposed to become a reverend father, no marriage. Here I am, Gabriel, I have to now really enter the world. Then one time I was almost going to a girl whom I really desired. I had gathered confidence, but action, 0. And it was interesting that, did I get the girl? Nothing. Because I never told her. She never knew what I wanted. She never knew that I was with the desire, with the confidence, nothing. But then later on I discovered that those things have to move together. I have the belief, the desire, the confidence and insight. Then I told myself the best thing I can do, take action. The first time I went, I took action. The girl told me, you know what, Gabriel, you are too young. Then I said, but me, I'm old enough. That's what the belief was there. But you are old enough. She told me, Gabriel, first wait, you will have this thing. It was a good advice that I can remember. She was called Joan. It is the biggest advice that Joan gave me that moment in time, simply because I had other things that I was braving. And falling into relationship was one of the things that I was looking forward to. I believed that I had grown. And right away from the seminar, I was saying, no, this is the right time. Then, when I was moving through, it gave me an indication that when you take action and you rail over your life, the world is so welcoming that it waits for you. It says welcome. It gives you several things, and the answers are very clear. Either you fail, excel, or stagnate. Then I said, my desire is not to fail, is not stagnate. I have to. But what is interesting, as I went through my life, I find out that I failed. Then I asked myself, have I failed simply because I'm not good enough to do this? I found out the answer was, I never had enough ingredients to take on. Because when I failed once, I just gave up. In other words, giving up is a sign that you're a loser. And one of the things from my experience, I always tell people, just give your time. Because nature has it that every time you press on, every time you put in your energy, you can never produce the first day you are produced. It gives you time. You grow. When you grow, you become, other things come in. That's when the younger baby who is a girl is not having enough womb, or enough ovary, or enough eggs to carry another baby. You have to grow. Nature takes you through that. You have to grow to another. A tree to give you a fruit, it has to take some time. In other words, when you take action, don't expect immediate. And I always tell people, it's all stopped with God just saying, let there be fire, let there be water, let there be light. It stopped with God the Creator. But today, action. If you want to let there be a car, I'm telling you, even if you go to your strongest pastor, who will tell you that let there be a car in your home when you are at church, you will go back to tell you the fact. I can assure I believe in God, you will not. My interest is always so much into young men and women, simply because when they tell you that those who have gone through have experience, I always tell them, listen, because all these things, you can learn them. It is just a matter of knowing whom to interact with, when to interact with him, and talking out. Because when you speak out, people are ready to welcome you, people are ready to help you, and people are up there waiting for people to talk to. And if you are so bright, look onto one person that you desire so much. Stand out, go to him straight. You said, you know what, Gabriel, be my mentor. Joseph, be my mentor. Ronnie, be my mentor. Let us work together. You know, mentors are good into different places. If you want to be a footballer, you go to a footballer. Don't ask a teacher that I want to be a footballer. I will tell you, don't go that side. Those are useless people. If you want to be a musician, ask a musician. Don't ask a pastor. Because sometimes you ask a wrong person who will end up telling you what he wants and will take you that direction. And I always tell people, desires can be taken off the main road. Keep what you desire. Look onto the person who has walked the road. Walk the similar road. Ask as you learn on. Take action. Move forward. And all these things are learned. Don't say that you are born lucky to have these things. No. Just learn them. And Entrepreneur Academy is there to teach you. It is giving you an opportunity that you can learn from those who have walked the journey. Ask your questions. They will tell you. They give you the ability to link you to individuals directly, as well as link into materials that they have. They have the ability to tell you, oh, come on, do you want this? You can even demand for certain things. Can I have something? Who will help me onto this? Can I have someone who can help me on this? But in conclusion, I can always tell you that life is all about something that long time ago people say, life is what you make it. To tell you the fact, at first it made no sense to me. Truly, I have come to believe that life is what you make it. I can assure you. Because when you choose to be useless, you make it that successful. If you choose to be that person you want to be, you will get it. The only thing is, choose the best you can be. Take action, believe in yourself, walk the journey, and be ready that people are welcoming you. Every section you want to do. If you want to do banking, banks were there a long time ago. Go to the banking. People have done banking. If you want to be a teacher, go to the teacher. If you want to be a pastor, please, you know they are there. Nothing that you will come up with that has not been there before, but you do it better way. That's how they would always point back and they say, oh, that is the gentleman who is good at this. That's the man. But doing the same thing everyone is doing. But the only way, as I told you earlier, that to be extraordinary, do those ordinary things in an extra way. And they always say that to shine, you need to polish. The thing is, if you don't get that brush, polish your life, polish your beliefs, you will not shine. If you want to be the best in everything you want, just know that which nutrients are needed, those are the polish. On the shoe, we use a shoe polish. And it is black, but will make the shoe very bright and nice looking. But when you put that same shoe polish on your face, you know what will happen. That means that you get the right nutrients for the right thing that you want. No one can design life for you. I can assure you that life is designed right away from within you to outside you. Those ones who are outside, they are the ones who feed the inside you. Then all of a sudden, life starts coming out. Don't wait for someone to design your life. I always say education tends to design us, to tell us that, you become a doctor. Then all of a sudden you need a lawyer when you have treated badly someone. So in other words, I always tell people, know some law, know something. In other words, there are very many things around. Then people can feed you into this. Everything I've told you about, you can learn it. And the Entrepreneur Academy has come in with the ability to give you all this, to collect ability, to collect people who can help us. And I want you to quickly know that, make it your friend. You never know that this might be your lifetime changing life for mentors or people you interact with over a period of time. And you build yourself, stand out, move out, and in the end you'll find that you are the best you can be. But I'm going to leave you with 3 things. 1, believe in yourself. But when you believe in yourself, another thing, have that fun. Have that fun that whatever you are doing, you will succeed. Be happy. The world needs happy people. The world needs happy people. Dance until your clothes are off, just like King David. No one will bother. If you are in the media, just do media until your clothes are off. In other words, run up to the maximum. If you are a teacher, teach to the maximum. If you are a driver, I'm not meaning that you step to the maximum speed limit. Be the best you can be. Number 3, there's nothing that will happen if you choose to sit. Take action. Go out, people help you. When you take action, blessings find you on the way. Chances put you on the way. People talk about luck. People talk about the money. Money never walks into any man's home. You have to walk forward there. Money meets you. Luck will meet you. Opportunities will meet you. When you choose to keep quiet, comfort in you wherever you are, I can assure you, you will not fail. You will succeed at your failure and you will be a loser. But the best you can do, walk forward there. You fail, learn, you will always stand up and people will talk about you. How will they talk about you? By telling you, that guy has persisted through. That's the icon. That's the man. That's our king. That they will give you all best words. And those best words, the best words you can always have. In the Bible says it all began with a word. A word became a man. A man saved us. That was Jesus. Even in the Quran, they will tell you Muhammad was a man of action. In anywhere, so